Good morning. My best friend is here. Okay, let's get started. Thanks if you're watching this recording for taking some time for yourself. Thanks, Mel, for being here. Okay, we're gonna start like we do, just landing in our body. Oh, maybe closing down your eyes, finding the natural rhythm of your breath. Maybe scanning your body from top to bottom and bringing some ease and relaxation, relaxing the space between your eyes, your jaw, your tongue. Maybe swallow a couple times and find a relaxation in the front of your neck and the back of your neck. Let your shoulders melt down your back and your sit bones really melt heavy into the earth. Relax your feet and your toes. Like any liberating practice, we start with a pause. Pausing is really just the beginning of stopping, slowing down. Ah, there is no wrong way to pause. So you can bring a little play, some love and compassion to yourself. Let all expectation and judgment go for what the next hour will hold. Really bringing this relaxed attentiveness to the life of the body, turning that attention and that focus inward. Maybe even resting a hand on your solar plexus, that band of nerves underneath your heart, maybe giving it a gentle rub. Just really beginning to wake up through the body. 80% of what our brain processes is from the body, and 20% is brain to body, 80% is body to brain. So if you wonder why you do your yoga practice, why we focus on putting our body into shapes and our pranayama, our breathing, it's because our body has the capacity to bring us to a place of calm, connection, to help our mind to find the pause as well. Really honoring that slowing down might feel a little unpleasant. It might feel a little uncomfortable, or it might feel like the best part of your day, but either way, it's okay. Either way, you are here now. Let your breath deepen and widen. Feel it expand in your belly, your ribs, your chest. Feeling maybe that the more you tune in to the aliveness in your body, the way that it buzzes and hums, even in stillness, that you're tapping into the vast aliveness of the universe, where there is endless love and endless connection, and you're a part of it all. Mm. I'm going to do a reading from a short poem by Molly Reamer. I hope you can receive and maybe find an intention for your practice somewhere within the words. A prayer for sacred pauses. Goddess of the sacred pause, please grant me the courage to lay aside swiftness and take up slowness, to embrace limitations as learning, silence as stabilizing, waiting as worthy, and sitting as divine. Goddess of the sacred pause, help me to know stillness as strength, patience as powerful, and healing time as holy necessity. And just take this moment, think of your intention. It can be one word, it can be an I am statement like, I am most powerful when I am patient. Whatever it is, just hold it in your heart. Know that it can change throughout the practice or throughout the day. We're going to begin with our breath practice, just the physiological sigh. So this one is super easy. You can keep your eyes closed or you can blink them softly open, but we're just going to take 2 inhales through our nose and then a long audible exhale out our mouth. Like a sigh. So we're creating this sigh, which is going to help to bring us into a place of safety, help to drop us into our parasympathetic nervous system, and just a really beautiful thing to know that we can curate that sense of safety. So anytime in the day, just give yourself a sigh. So you can begin anytime. You can think of it as you're walking 2 steps up and then you're taking the elevator down. You can even start to smooth that out into 1 breath in, 1 breath out if that feels better to you. Knowing that anything I give to you is just a suggestion throughout this practice. You can do any shape or any breath. Maybe one more. And then taking a pause, noticing any changes. Maybe placing a hand on your third eye. Maybe just asking that your intuition be with you for this practice so that you may find a level of choice here. Really listening to what your body needs today and honoring that, getting 1 step closer to coming home to yourself. We're just going to explore some quick vagal toning. So we're going to do some self-havening touch. So you can begin by just rubbing your hands together, maybe starting really slowly. It can even come down to your wrist. Just starting to explore that, aliveness. Feel that warmth it creates, that energy inside of you. And then bring your hands to your forehead and sweep from the center of your forehead out to your temples, maybe stopping at your temples to do a few circles. Knowing that the vagus nerve runs really close to the skin in our face. So this gentle touch is really telling it that we are safe, we are soothed, bringing your hands to the bridge of your nose, then coming out your cheekbones, bringing it down your throat, maybe finding a humming sound. The vagus nerve exists in your larynx and your pharynx. So when we innervate it like that with the hum, it's activating it. Maybe bringing your hands to the back of your neck and giving them some gentle squeezes. Bringing both hands up to your occiput, the back of your skull, and rubbing there. Amazing the tension that we can hold in these places we often forget about. And just letting it know, I see you, I feel you, I'm here for you. And then coming to your ears and maybe doing some gentle tugs on your earlobes. Just the outside of your ear moving up, maybe the inside, that like part that looks like a conch shell, just giving that a little rub with your fingers. Just really priming ourselves for our practice, and anywhere that it felt good through that whole practice, just go back there and do that some more. Give yourself more of what feels good. Maybe your fingertips come into your hairline, into your scalp. And then we're going to explore some pressure points, just really gentle in our face. So the first one we're going to do is like right below our eyes, right above your cheekbones. There's this spot here, and just give it a gentle rub. If any of this doesn't serve you today, just go back to stillness or whatever feels good. Then, like outside your nose, giving that a little press or a rub. Right above your lip. And then last one is below your cheekbones. You can feel that point where your cheekbones end there, and giving that a little rub. And then resting your hands in your lap. Noticing any changes, bringing your awareness to the quality of your thoughts, the way your breath is flowing in and out. When you're ready, planting your feet flat on the floor, and we're just going to explore some body rolls, coming forward and then back. Maybe inhaling forward and exhaling back. Expanding the heart forward and then contracting belly button into spine. Whatever organic movement feels good here, switching directions. Dropping both knees to the left and reaching that right arm behind you up toward the sky. A gentle twist, and then coming back to center, both knees up and over to the right side, and putting your body low to the ground. And again, just flowing through those two movements, a reach Maybe finding a wrist roll there, waking up our joints. And then other way, low. Moving through here at your own pace, with your own breath. Maybe switching directions and reaching with the left arm, trying to find yourself there. Coming low to the other side. And when you feel complete, just coming back to center, hugging those knees into your chest, and maybe finding a gentle rock side to side. Bringing some of that somatic experiencing to our practice today, knowing that this rocking is, we do it to babies for a reason, and there's no reason we can't rock ourselves. Bringing that sense of comfort. Feeling whatever comes up with no shame or guilt. Mm. Mm. When you're ready, just moving into all fours, finding a wide spread of all five fingers, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. We're going to start with some lateral movements. So you're going to bring your right hip toward the right and look at it, and then switch. So you're contracting the left side of your body, opening up the right side of the body, and then switch. Just moving here with your own breath, your own pace. When you're ready, coming back to a neutral spine, maybe letting that head hang heavy, maybe letting those shoulder blades fall in toward each other, chest toward the floor. So Mel, it's like a scap push up. And then pushing the floor away and spreading those shoulder blades apart, finding a round in your spine. And then again, drop down, chest to the floor, letting those shoulder blades come together, and then press apart. And returning to neutral and finding some cat-cow, inhaling, chest expands forward, pelvis tilts up, and then exhaling round, pelvis tilts toward the floor, navel into the spine, look at your belly button. And continue there. Inhale, expand. Exhale, contract. Maybe flipping your wrists if you'd like to find a little wrist stretch so your fingers are pointing back behind you at your knees, and continuing to move through your cat-cows there. Maybe bringing a little circle to your body, sort of moving around those wrist joints in one direction a few times. And when you're ready, in the other way. Mm. Mm. Finding some stillness, turning those fingers back to point at the top of your mat, flipping those toes underneath so all five toes are tucked, and then just really gently sitting back. Chest can still stay slightly forward. You can explore walking up, which will intensify the sensation most likely. You can always come back down if it becomes too much. You can use your bolster to raise that floor up a little bit. Just finding broken toe pose. And untucking them and giving your feet a little whack on the ground, waking them up, finding some aliveness there. And one more time, flipping them and sitting back onto those toes. Can you find an ease within yourself in this sensation? Can you lengthen your breath, lengthen your exhales, and coming back down and giving them a gentle flutter. Widening your knees, toes together, and finding a couple of moments in child's pose. You can walk your bolster out and put your hands on it. It feels good. You can also explore taking your bolster and putting it lengthwise, like through your knees, and then laying down on it. So just see what feels best in child's pose today. If you have one cheek on the bolster, I'll tell you when it's halfway so you can flip your cheek. Mm. Mm. Anytime throughout your practice, maybe returning to that sigh or the buzzing, humming sound. If your mind starts to wander or race, it can be good to come back to the breath. The breath returns us to the present moment. And the present moment is where we can access that sense of true aliveness, that endless well of love. And if you have a cheek one way, turning it toward the other direction. Mm. Mm. And sending your breath to somewhere in the body that's holding or clutching. Let that fresh life, that prana, bring some ease. Mm. Mm. When you're ready, one vertebra at a time, just rolling up to sitting, pausing for a moment there. And we're gonna slowly work our way up to standing with just a little detour in garland pose. So feet as wide as your mat, and then drop your hips down. Early in our practice, so I highly recommend sitting on a bolster. Later in our practice, you can explore removing the bolster, but super early in our practice. So just slowly and mindfully waking up the body. We don't want to ever jolt it awake. Maybe finding hands at heart center, thumbs pressing into your sternum, elbows just gently pushing against the knees, knees gently pushing back against the elbows, finding this little activation in the legs. After an activation, we can find some relaxation. Maybe dropping your head down, finding one ear to one shoulder, just moving it back and forth if that feels good. Coming up to center, dropping your left ear to your left shoulder, maybe tilting your chin up toward the sky. Maybe tilting your chin down to your left knee, just moving on that axis. And when you're ready, back to center, dropping right ear to right shoulder, and just exploring in the same fashion. Or you can remain in stillness. Hmm. And coming back to center. Maybe walking both hands just in front of you and dropping your head down, letting the top of your back really round. Maybe turning your feet more parallel and bringing your hips up to the sky. You can have as much bend in your knee as feels good. And furling, removing your props. We're just gonna do a couple of standing flows and some sun salutations, and then we'll come back to our um, regular scheduled yin to end it. So know that we're coming back to some real juicy, nourishing poses. But first we're gonna roll down, reach to your right, let your body drop, reach to the left. Bend those knees as much as you need. You just sway side to side. Maybe finding the exhale on the drop. And then slowly coming back to center. And rolling up. Maybe finding a gentle cactus arm back bend. And then coming back to center. Hands at heart center. Finding your mountain pose. Okay, we're going to move through some sun salutations. I'm going to walk you through it. Arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bow forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Find that flat back. Hands can be on your shins or on the floor, on your quads. And then bend over your knees, bend those knees as much as you need. Plant those hands, step back on the right foot. So you're in a runner's lunge. Left foot meets right foot and lower all the way down to the ground. Untuck your toes, heart forward cobra. Melt back down, tuck your toes, moving through all fours, find your downward facing dog. With a deep breath. Right foot extends up behind you and then steps forward into a running lunge. So now our right leg's in front, left meets right at the top of your mat. Raise up to mountain pose. Exhale, arms by your side. Just sort of feel that breath moving. Feel that heart rate elevating. All right, we're going to do the other side. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend those knees as much as you need to. Bow over those knees. Plant those hands. Inhale, step back on the left. Right meets left into plank pose. Option always to just put your knees down on the ground, of course, and then lower slowly down. Untuck those toes, cobra. Release to the earth, tuck those toes, pull back into downward facing dog. 2 deep breaths here. Where are you holding? You find a more easeful down dog. Inhale, left leg raises behind and steps in front, runner's lunge. Right meets left, top of mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Let's do one more each side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bow over those legs. Plant those hands. Step back on the right. Left meets right into a plank. Option knees touch down. Lower slowly down to your belly. Untuck your toes, cobra. Release to the earth. Tuck those toes and move into your down dog. Maybe find a lion's breath here. So on the exhale, stick out your toe. Right leg raises up behind us, steps forward into runner's lunge. Always option to tap down that back knee if you need. Left meets right, top of mat, raise up. Exhale, mountain pose. Good place to remind yourself of your intention, your I am statement, your word. And last sun salutation. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands plant, step back with the left. Right meets left. Exhale to the earth. Inhale, cobra. Exhale and belt. Inhale, downward facing dog. Left leg raised up, front, runner's lunge. Right meets left, top of mat, arms up. Down, mountain pose. Just take a moment here in our pause. Notice any change. Whatever you notice, love it for what it is. It's all part of you. And you're part of this beautiful universe, this endless bounty of love and connection, opportunity. Okay, we're going to come back into our garland pose. So if you want to sit on your bolster again, bring your bolster behind you and just at your own pace, widen your feet out to your mat's width And just find that place. Drop those hips nice and low. If you want to explore without the bolster, of course, that's up to you. Bring that right arm out to a diagonal, reaching out past your mat, and maybe find just a gentle twist. Arm can be on your sacrum, be anywhere. And coming back through center, exploring the other side, reaching out to the left, and finding a gentle twist. Oh, and coming back through center. And at your own pace, just finding your feet flat on the earth. We're going to just find some more body rolls like how we started, just to bring our spine back to our awareness. And switching directions, opening up into a butterfly. Yeah, it's a beautiful place just to stay upright, or you can inhale and find that elongated spine and then start to lean your body forward. You can keep your spine straight or you can let it round. Great place to explore using your bolster. Maybe if you want to rest your head on it, find some height there. You could lay it across your lap or in front of your feet and drape. Really trying to find a place where you can let go. Yin yoga is a really wonderful representation of the sacred pause, honoring that pause because we stay in our shapes in stillness for a length of time. This allows us to really excavate our inner worlds, that energy body, the subtle body. And it allows us to take the time it requires to get into our fascia, the connective tissue that runs throughout our whole body. And when that fascia is tight and tense, that sends messages to our brain of threats. And that's okay. In our modern worlds, we're all experiencing that. So you're in good company. There's no judgment. There's no shame. It's just awareness around it so that you can understand why you're in this shape, why you stepped onto your mat. We can work on getting that fascia more malleable, more pliant. That sends messages to our brain of safety. Oh. 5 more deep breaths here. Maybe exploring your edge if you want to deepen into that edge or pull back. Remembering that in yin, we're not trying to get to the edge of sensation. We want to find a place where we feel a stimulating stretch without there being aggression or overwhelm. Mm. When you feel ready, really slowly rolling up, pausing. Maybe coming back to any cues of safety, maybe the comforting noises inside your house or the chirp of the birds if you're outside. Maybe even just the familiar feel of your mat beneath you. Just folding your knees back in, extending them out long. And if you have it, placing the bolster underneath your knees. Maybe taking your peace fingers and hooking them in between your thumb, big toe, your big toe and your second toe. And your knees can be as bent as you'd like them. The bolster is here because I want your knees to be bent, so that helps us keep them bent. Maybe rolling those shoulders back down your back, elongating that spine, just tugging gently on those toes to sort of lock those arms in place, and then folding forward, maybe nestling your nose. Maybe you want a pillow so that you're even higher up. You can put that there. Releasing those toes anytime for a more comfortable position. Exploring our caterpillar shape. Maybe relaxing those feet. Maybe letting them gently fall open. Mm. Mm. Maybe bringing your awareness to the way your heart beats against your thigh. Maybe with every inhale, trying to reach that breath to the front of your hips where we're folded over. 5 more long, nourishing breaths here. Mm. 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 Whenever you're ready, walking yourself back up. Maybe bringing one hand to your forehead and hand to the back of your skull. Letting the mind know that the body has you. In the present moment, there is nothing to fear. There is no worry. Thank it and let it release just a little bit. Something that is not serving you, a thought, an image. Let it free. Free yourself. Releasing those hands down. We're going to come on to our backs. So just slowly rolling your way down to your back, hugging both knees into your chest, and maybe finding a rock side to side on your sacrum. Mm. Grabbing your ankles, like the top of the ankles and the outside of your ankles, and letting those knees fall open and really letting your feet just hold your feet so that your hips can stop the holding in this sort of bound angle shape. Mm. And holding on to your knees and making some circles around, lubricating those hip joints. Just bringing some like nourishment and love there, and then switching directions. So if you were going out, now coming in, or vice versa. Letting those feet sort of just flop and be heavy. And pausing at the center. Maybe putting your bolster just lengthwise on the left side of your mat. Bringing your arms out into a T, just gently dropping your knees over to the left, resting them on that bolster. If you'd like to explore deepening, you can remove the bolster. Your head can be anywhere that feels good. In this supine twist, bring your awareness to any places in the body that are holding, that are bracing, and try to work them into finding the steadiness, the security of Mother Earth who's holding you. Knowing that we're always held by her. We're always free to let go. Ah. Mm. This is a beautiful place to stay, but if you'd like to explore another variation, you can take your left hand and sort of loop your peace fingers onto the back of your right toe. You can work toward extending that top leg out. So it'll be toward like the top corner of your mat. Well, really the bottom corner of your mat. I don't know. Doesn't have to be perfectly straight, but you can just work toward that. You can also explore twisted root, which is just crossing your legs right over left on the top, right on the top, and then bringing them back down toward the earth. So they're in this eagle position or twisted root. Mm. And one last option. You would leave your right leg on the balls of the floor and then start to work that left leg behind you and then reach for that left toe. So it's still down on the earth, but now it's in this bent shape. And you can either reach for your toe or grab your toe. And this is cat pulling its tail. So any and all of those are beautiful. Or staying in the supine twist if that's what felt best today. The more we listen to ourselves and honor what we hear, the more we build that self-trust with which we can move through the world with. Wherever you are, at the bottom of your next exhale, squeeze up on your pelvic floor like a Kegel. Bring your belly button into your spine and then bring those knees back up. We do all of that to protect our lower back. Then you can find a rock front to back or side to side. Maybe it feels good to come into happy baby, widening those knees, soles of the feet pointing up toward the sky, grabbing the outer feet or the inner feet or the calves, anywhere, back of the thighs. You can find a rock here or stillness. Wherever you are, try to lay your entire spine on the floor from your sacrum, even just visualizing the back of your neck melting flat into the earth, removing any tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your toes. Folding those knees back into the center. If you liked the bolster, or even if you didn't, explore it on your other side, because each side is different. Every day we're different. When you're ready, arms in a T and releasing those knees over to the right. Just really adjusting yourself for ultimate comfort and release. Hmm. Where are you holding? Where can you let the earth hold you instead? Exploring any of the variations we took on the other side, grabbing the big toe of that top leg and extending it out, or twisted root, or cat pulling its tail, or just staying as you are. Hmm. Two more of your deepest breaths, your fullest breaths into your ribs, into your belly and your hips, all the way down to your toes, all the way out the crown of your head. Hmm. At the bottom of your next exhale, pulling up on your pelvic floor and coming back to center. Planting both feet on the earth, and we're just going to explore into a bridge pose, lifting those hips up. And then slowly coming back down to the earth. Legs out long into Shavasana, or you're welcome to place your bolster lengthwise on your spine and finish in an open-hearted Shavasana. Final resting pose where we integrate all of our body's wisdom. If you've had any lower back pain this week, option to explore a belly down Shavasana, placing your bolster horizontally and then the space under your belly button laying right there and then coming on down. Mm. 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 As always, you're welcome to end your practice in Shavasana. But if you'd like to re-enter your day together, start to bring some gentle movements to your fingers and your toes. Maybe rocking your head back and forth, massaging the back of your head. Maybe stretching long and wide like your first stretch of the morning. And rolling over onto one side into a fetal position. And rising back up to sitting. Roxy, you want to come make some noise with us? Come here. You want to say Om? We're going to end with an Om, the sound that contains all sound, the sound of the universe, the sound that reminds us that we are all one big, beautiful organism. Inhale, and on the exhale, Om.